You're a radar operator in China. A missile shows up on your screen, flying in fast from 200 miles away. You sound the alarm, but then you see something unexpected. It's not just one missile, it splits into dozens of small drones, all flying toward different targets. You've just seen a new kind of weapon, a hypersonic missile that launches a swarm of drones mid-flight. This weapon isn't part of a movie, it's real, and it belongs to the US Army. Military experts around the world are now paying attention because this changes the game, especially in places like the Indo-Pacific. So what is this missile? How does the drone swarm work? And why might China and Iran struggle to stop it? Let's break it down. The missile is called PrSM, short for Precision Strike Missile. It's meant to replace the Army's older short-range missiles like the ATAC-MS. Because PrSM is smaller, each launcher can carry 2 of them instead of 1. That means more firepower with the same equipment. The U.S. Army got the first batch from Lockheed Martin in December 2023, and testing showed it works well. On June 17, 2024, during a test in the Pacific, a PrSM missile hit and sank a moving Navy ship, the USS Cleveland. That showed its ability to hit moving targets. Later in December, the Army did its own tests, without Lockheed Martin's help, at White Sands in New Mexico. They launched 2 missiles from HIMARS trucks and hit long-range targets. This was a big step toward real battlefield use. By March 2024, the Army had already signed the 4th production contract. Over 1,000 missiles were included, with plans to eventually buy nearly 4,000 more. Right now, the first version of the PrSM, called Increment 1, is limited to about 249 miles of range. That's because of an old treaty. But even with that limit, it can carry a 200-pound warhead and launch from HIMARS and MLRS systems. The second version, called Increment 2, or LBASM, is being made for attacking ships. It has a smart seeker system that uses radar and infrared to find targets even in hard-to-reach places. After the U.S. left the old treaty in 2019, this version was allowed to have a longer range, about 435 miles. This anti-ship version can also fly faster. Because it can follow and hit moving ships, it will be very useful in naval battles. Testing began in June 2024, and real production is expected by 2027. Increment 3 focuses on hitting bunkers and hidden enemy positions. It uses better types of explosives and mini-bombs that can be spread over a large area. We don't yet know when this version will be available, but it's likely to come after Increments 1 and 2. Increment 4 is all about long range, over 620 miles. Thanks to new engines and better missile shapes, it can hit targets from very far away. That makes it safer for U.S. forces since they don't have to get close to danger. Increment 5, which will start development in 2026, is even more futuristic. It's being designed to launch from robotic vehicles without any humans inside. This will allow for even longer missiles and ranges that we haven't seen before. All versions of PrSM are part of a bigger plan. The Army is building a system that includes the Typhoon launcher, which can fire SM-6 and Tomahawk missiles, and a new hypersonic missile called Dark Eagle. The Australian Army is already joining the program. The British Army and Baltic states are also interested. But in August 2024, the US rejected Norway's request to buy PrSM. Now here's where things get even more interesting. PrSM can carry drones, and not just any drones, but small, smart, deadly ones called Coyotes. The Coyote drone, made by Raytheon, started as a weather tool used by the US government to fly into hurricanes, but now it's been redesigned for war. It can fly on its own, or as part of a group or swarm. The military first used it as a way to stop enemy drones. It could either crash into them or explode near them, like a mini-missile. These drones were launched from vehicles like M-ATVs or other small trucks. Later versions of the Coyote got better. They were made faster, more accurate, and able to fly farther. One version, Block 2, has a jet engine, can go over 370 and can even try again if it misses a target the first time. There's also a Block 3 version which can carry cameras, jammers, or non-explosive weapons to disable other drones or equipment. These can even be recovered and reused. Coyote drones are used on the ground, in the air, and even at sea. They can be launched from vehicles, ships, and maybe in the future from submarines. In 2021, tests showed these drones could take out 10 enemy drones at once using non-explosive tech. By the end of 2024, Coyote drones had already destroyed at least 170 enemy drones in places like the Middle East, Africa, and Europe. Because they work so well, the U.S. Army has ordered 6,000 Block 2s and 700 Block 3s along with hundreds of radar systems and launchers. Each Coyote drone costs around $100,000, which is cheap compared to big missiles. The Army is investing hundreds of millions into this drone program, and now we return to the PrSM because some versions will carry Coyote drones inside. This means one missile can fly into enemy airspace, release drones mid-air, and those drones can each attack their own targets. Some could hunt down radars, others could jam signals, and some could just watch and send info back. This kind of weapon lets the US attack large areas using just one missile. It's also great for area denial, spreading drones across a battlefield so the enemy can't safely move. And if the drones carry different tools, like cameras, jammers, or decoys, they can confuse and overwhelm enemy systems even more. This type of swarm attack is hard to defend against. War games have shown that even a strong enemy air defense system can be overloaded and confused by a swarm of cheap, smart drones, and if a swarm gets past defenses, it can do real damage, especially to ships, radar stations, or missile launchers. Even if a drone can't sink a ship, it can knock out its radar or communications, making it useless in battle. Now, launching drones from a very fast missile has its problems, like how to protect them from heat and pressure, but the Army is working on ways to slow them down safely before release. Once this is solved, a PrSM carrying drones could become one of the most powerful weapons in the U.S. arsenal, especially against countries like China and Iran, who may not be ready for drone swarms launched at hypersonic speeds. China is also building drone swarms and other smart weapons. In a future war, say over Taiwan, both sides may use swarms of drones to fight for air and sea control. Whoever masters this tech first could have a huge advantage. So, what do you think? Will these missile-launched drone swarms give the U.S. an edge, or is it just the beginning of a new kind of arms race? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching.